Hey everyone, I'm Hannah Barnes with PopCulture.com, and we are here with Holly Williams. She is the granddaughter of Hank Williams and the daughter of Hank Williams Jr. She's also a singer-songwriter herself who has released 3 albums. She also owns several boutiques across the South and is performing tonight in Nashville at the Franklin Theater. So, Holly, are you looking forward to the show tonight?
I am. This is truly one of my favorite venues. It's just such a historic town, and this theater was going to get torn down a few years ago, and the neighborhood came together to save it, and it's a great place to play. It sounds great.
So you've released 3 albums yourself. Do you have any plans to do any more new music anytime soon?
I'm trying to find time to write songs, which is challenging with the 4 and 2 and 1-year-old, but yes. I'm getting there. I actually spoke to the producer the other day about maybe recording next spring and trying to get something out next year. I've been pretty focused on babies and retail, and touring is hard with these little ages, but I miss playing. I mean, I'm playing still here and there, but I miss really doing it.
Definitely. So you had said, you have a 4-year-old, is she old enough to kind of see you play at all or anything?
She is. In fact, she was going to come tonight. Tonight was a little late, but she went to the Opry for the first time about 3 months ago and was looking at the name plaque and said, my name's going to be up there, and she was crying in the dressing room to go on stage. It was like the first time that totally came out of the blue about her wanting to get on stage. So she's like really into performing.
That's awesome. Wow, must run in the family then, huh?
Exactly.
Definitely. So speaking of family, you come from obviously country legends. Was that ever kind of a pressure situation to be descended from?
For me, I think for my brother, I feel like it was more for Hank III and for my dad being kind of the only son of Hank Williams Sr. But I think being a girl and doing kind of a little more folk singer-songwriter music, it set apart enough. I mean, there's definitely pressure in a way of people expecting a certain amount of talent, and they expect to love your songs in a few ways, but for the most part, I would say that people were, open to new ideas, and I didn't have a lot of pressure of like, you need to sing this song and dress like this and that kind of stuff.
Awesome. So yeah, you've definitely done your own thing, your own sound, but did you ever kind of take inspiration from their sound as well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the biggest things they taught me was just about being your own musician and whatever's in your heart. I mean, I love that Hank Sr. used to say, I don't know what you mean by country music, I just write songs the way I know how. And that's kind of how I felt. It may not be, some songs are more country, some songs are more folk, depending on the instrumentation, on production, it can lean so many different ways. But for me, it was just all about seeing the path that my dad made through following his own direction, and the path that my grandfather made through just following their hearts and what they wanted when they were told, like, you'll never make it, and this is not music for the masses, and they just kind of followed their dreams. So it was really inspiring just to kind of do what I wanted and find my own fan base.
Definitely. And I see, maybe like aside from music, is there kind of a big lesson you've learned from your dad?
I think just in general of just like following your own path. I mean, that can work whether it's music or not, but in kind of any work scenario or scenario where you're passionate about something, he was told so many times he wouldn't make it. He had that terrible mountain fall in 1975 and didn't think he would come out of it, and just to find what you want to say and say it, whether that's as a musician, as an artist, or even in an office job, like what's going to set you apart from other people and make your thing different.
I think that's definitely something we could all kind of take into our lives in general. But aside from music, you have so many other ventures. You have your boutique and the home goods stores kind of around the South. You're opening more. What made you decide to get into retail?
So that actually kind of came unexpectedly. My sister and I were in a bad car accident in 2006. And she was very hurt. She has had, over 40 surgeries, and we just didn't know if she'd ever walk again. And I had broken bones and had to cancel a tour. And it all kind of came from, I want to find something that's plan B, that's not relying on music, where I can be home and helping take care of my sister and just being in Nashville. So that kind of led me to the first thing of H. Audrey, which is the clothing store. It's been open for 12 years. And at that time, Nashville was not booming and bustling like it is now. And there were so many designers I was seeing from traveling that I wanted to kind of bring back here. And 5 years later, I got older and my taste changed, and I had always loved the general store of the South. My mom's family was very involved in general stores, and just I wanted to create a space where people could come in and get a little bit of everything. I think as a busy person, I didn't have time to go to like the dog food store and the paper store and just all these different places. She's like, I just need to put everything I love in one store, and some clothing, some dog food, some antiques. And so that's where White's Mercantile came out of. And so we've got Charleston and Louisville and Nashville, and we are opening this week New Orleans and Malibu, and just doing like 6 cities this month, and some of them are bigger like Malibu, and some are not this month, sorry, this year. And then some small towns like Fairhope, Alabama, where I'm living, kind of revitalizing.
That's
So
awesome.
it's I have a lot of amazing people making it all happen with me, and just, we're working like crazy every day.
It's so cool that it's like around the country now and down the
Yeah,
street.
I definitely went to my banker and real estate agent was like, here's my 5-year plan, need this loan. And then it ended up all these cities that I loved had spaces that were great, like sooner than later. So it was kind of unexpected.
Yeah, and I was just in the store down the street, guys. It really does have everything.
Thank you.
So cute. But along with that, you do home decorating also, like kind of home flipping.
I mean, yeah, when I have time, I love to, I haven't done one lately, but I really love finding old falling apart homes and turning them around.
Have you always been into kind of just creative endeavors like that?
I think, it was funny. I think back to high school, like my senior interviews, and like, what are you going to be? What is your plan? I was like, my plan is to do music. They're like, well, that doesn't count. What's your real plan? And at the time I said interior design. I've just always loved, loved kind of saving history. I mean, there's a lot of these kind of cheap falling apart houses around Tennessee. They may not be in Nashville, but they're in places where I feel like if you make the investment and try to turn it around, and just saving houses is a huge passion of mine.
That's awesome. So with all of these things that you're doing, you're also a mom. How do you kind of juggle it all?
For me, I think it's really important to try to be fully present in whatever I'm doing. So instead of like I love that nerdy book, The 4-Hour Work Week, and it's all about, instead of working harder, it's about working smarter. So this week, for instance, I had all the kids in New Orleans, and the mornings I would do like 5 hours with park and zoo and lunch and the fun time. Then when they get tired and ready for nap, I would drop them off with Nanny. She would keep them for like those 5 hours, and I would go to the store. It's a lot of logistics, but I just each day try to go like, this is my time with the kids, and then when I'm working, I'm trying to get it all done. And don't talk to me, I'm trying to email, like, let me get focused, and it's just about figuring out the logistics. I think that moms, I started reading like all the nerdy time management books and just all that to go like, I grew up without a working mom. My mom did not work. She was fully present, and I never want my kids to be like, oh, my mom was always on her phone or always busy. So I think it's really hard this day and age to balance all that. Delegating is something that I've really had to do to be like, if I want to be a good mom, I can't approve every item that goes in the store. I have to trust my amazing employees and their creativity, and just give more to other people to handle. None of us can do it all on our own.
Really, that's a really good tip. Ask for help when you need it.
Yeah, exactly.